Moderate.
God, so much.
All right, what's up, YouTube? Woohoo! Facebook, I'll put this link on Facebook. So today, I'm going to tell you how to transition. Okay, how to transition a side hustle into a business. Okay, very, very important. But one thing I do want to comment. So I always talk about side hustles. I'm the biggest side hustle fan on the planet.
Right.
And if you don't know me, I'm Corey Kearney. I own a couple car dealerships. We do a bunch of stuff, man. We got batting cages now, things like that, right? So my business used to be a side hustle. I've transitioned one. We do the company does very well. Used to be a side hustle, but anyway, all side hustles aren't meant to be businesses.
I agree.
Yeah. So some side hustles are really, really good just being a side hustle.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Right.
because you never want, if you got, like, just an example, if you're making something out of your garage, right, that, and trinkets, and it doesn't really take you a ton of time, and boom, you can sell them and it's quick or whatever, the possibility of turning that into some huge manufacturing company, it is possible, right? But the likelihood of that is
Smaller.
It's smaller, right?
I
So,
see.
yes, and so I would recommend your side hustle to be in the industry that you want to own a business in. But if you're wanting to transition your side hustle into a legit business, I'm gonna drop the bomb on you. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it. I'm gonna tell you how I did it. I'll tell you exactly how to do it and the process you can follow to turn your business or your side hustle into a legit business that makes more profit.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So, but I got that out. So I've been saying that a little bit, is all side hustles aren't businesses, right? So you got to be able to decipher which one's going to be, right? So my side hustle used to be what we would call flipping cars, right? I was in the car business, worked for a guy for 8 years, but on the side, I would buy a car and then turn around and sell it. Back then it was Craigslist, right? There was no Facebook Marketplace out there, which any side hustle, you better be using Facebook Marketplace. Your business better be using Facebook. If it's not, you're not in business.
No.
So, but what I would do, I was buying, $2,500, $3,500 cars, right? And, trying to sell them and make $1,000 or $1,500, doing that 3 or 4 times a month. And my side hustle was making $4,000 to $5,000 every month, right? So, and I knew I wanted to be in the car business, right? And I wanted to own a car dealership, but this was my way of generating some capital, right?
Yeah.
Which is another thing you don't need to start a business, and I'll tell you about that too. So, yeah, when I did that for probably a year, okay, just 3,000 to 5,000. Sometimes I didn't sell a car on the side. Sometimes I was too busy with the dealership that I didn't sell a car on the side.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, and a side hustle is such a good insurance policy for starting a business, right? I tell people that too. They're like, I want to start this business, blah, blah, blah. Do it on the side.
Yeah.
Do it on the side for 90 days, and let's see if it makes money,
Right.
Because even if the paperwork makes sense, it makes sense on paper, it makes sense in your head, it might not make money. Seriously,
Right.
No. I've done that. I've had things that I thought were going to work out, and they just didn't, right? They just didn't for some unforeseen reason, or I'm just a dumbass and didn't calculate it right. You know what I mean? So no problem. But do it on the side, 90 days, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever you want to do.
Right.
But before, it's a great way to establish customers, right? The first thing that you need in a side hustle, obviously, is a customer, right? I always say customer acquisition, over-deliver on your product, repeat. That is the business secret. That's the side hustle secret, and that's the business secret, okay? So if you have a side hustle set up, and you pick a side hustle. Yeah, let's start there. I'm gonna give an example. You pick any side hustle that somebody may be doing right now.
Photography.
That's freaking awesome. That's a good one, right? So big money in that. My wife gets the family photos. They come to the house, or we'll go somewhere, whatever, right? Photography is huge.
It's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. And how long would it take? I'm not a photographer, but how long would it take to be schooled up on how to do this correctly, right? I mean, could you go to a class? Can you get it at school? I think
you can take courses. You can go to college for just photography.
But it is 2024, and you can probably learn how to do it on YouTube.
Dude, if you spend 18 minutes a day for a year, it's That's 100 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
then you
right.
just master it.
Mm.
But you got, if you break it down like that. But yeah, I think photography is a big one to break into, because hey, you could go to car lots and start taking pictures of all their cars. Go to another car lot, start doing that, start making money that way.
So
Do
you
anything.
definitely could expand on that. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to use a photographer. We are photographers. We do it on the side now, right? So the first thing we have to do, if we have to have an established side hustle that's making money, because if you're going to transition something into a business, if you don't have any revenue, if you went out and spent $2,000 on a camera, a couple props, and all this, and you've never booked a client, it ain't time to start a business. It is not time to start a business. So, hadn't said that. Let's assume that you are busy every weekend because you book clients
Right.
on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. However you're obtaining your clients, which you have to have that, right?
Right.
You have to have the ability to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And so starting the business is just scaling your operation, right? Once you get into business, there's scale and adding people and having the best websites and SEO and all this bullshit that you don't need right now. I promise you don't need that at
Right.
this juncture, okay? You have a side hustle, we're wanting to transition to a business. So, we're photographers and we have this going. What we need now is the ability to capture more customers,
Right.
okay? Because right now we have a 9-to-5 job. Say we're working Monday through Friday,
Right.
and we're doing this on Saturdays and Sundays for families, ball teams, whatever we're
Right.
doing, right? So if we're going to transition this into a business, you no longer have your 9-to-5 job. So we have to fill up the 9-to-5 with photography.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So you have to have the ability and the understanding that instead of booking 2 days a week worth of work, now we got to book 7.
Yeah.
And you need 7. Stop thinking that you can do you can start a business and work 5 days a week. It's just not real. It's just not real. You can probably find some guys on Instagram that did, something in 30 days and made themselves
Yeah.
$1 trillion or whatever. 2 things, they're probably lying. My wife's leaving. So, but we have to understand and map out. We have to fill up our schedule, right? So, and I would probably side hustle until it got to be too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
To do it on the side,
I
right?
agree.
And that's why I say it's the best insurance policy to starting a business, right? Because you know what the flow is, right?
Right, yeah.
Because you could have this great idea, but again, if you haven't booked anyone, you don't have a business to start, okay? So now we need the ability to gain more customers.
Right.
So what we need to do more of, how you get your customers originally, Facebook, Instagram, word of mouth, whatever you're doing, has to be ramped up.
Right.
Times 5, right? I mean,
Yeah.
however many days you're trying to book yourself out. So,
Yeah.
customer acquisition,
Mhm.
right? You have to over deliver to your clients because, as a photographer, repeat business is going to be key.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yes.
So, the strategy in business, the only strategy that you'll ever need, right? Customer acquisition, over deliver to your client, and repeat. Step 1. That's a 3-step process. I say to getting rich, but whatever. So once we're there, we understand we're having to do this or whatever. Maybe now we got a little something that we didn't have called like an ad budget, right?
Right.
Because now we need to run ads. We need to have technology out there being salespeople for us.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's where the transition comes, right? Because you can't just do the same thing you were doing, because you can accidentally get 2 days worth of work. You're not going to accidentally get 7 days worth of
No.
work. Okay. So we have to understand that and do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's, I'm not saying what anybody should set up their ad budget as or whatever, but I mean, I would definitely say if you're throwing $100 at something like that, then you're probably wasting your money. So you really need to, and there's no perfect way to do ads. You do our ads.
Yeah,
I
there's,
mean,
there's no perfect way, but with photography too, yeah, you want to run your ads, but at the same time, dude, your work speaks for itself too. So your social media, your pictures your work that you're putting up there, people are going to like that. People are, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
I think that speaks volumes for that
Yeah.
anyways. But don't throw $100 at an ad. It's
So you
just
need to get more known.
way more known.
We got to get way more known, and hopefully you've banked some money because you were doing this on the side. You banked some money with the hopes. There we go. So you banked a few dollars that it's now time to pull on those and say, hey, maybe I'm going to spend $1,000 this month on ads, or boosting my Instagram pictures that I've taken to show my work, and bam, 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 right? So, and again, this translates to any industry. Any industry, right? So I recommend side hustling in an industry that you're currently in, right? You know, that is, I think that works the best.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, you're wanting to go out on your own, then you can do whatever, you know what I mean?
But how crazy was it trying to flip a car and sell a car? Because I mean, it's the same thing. Like, because you got yours on the side, right, that you're trying to flip. And I know there was times where someone showed up at the lot, and you know that your car is there, so you show. I mean, it
never happened.
I mean, I know it's going to happen.
No, you do have to have a little integrity, especially if you're going to stay in the same business. Like, you know, a lot of like guys in the trades or whatever, they want to do side work or whatever. Well, man, don't steal from your boss. Don't steal from your boss, man, because then, you know, 10 years down the road, dude, you're going to hate that, and it's going to happen to you because you did that.
Right.
You know, so don't steal from your boss. I do recommend, you know, starting a business in an industry that you're in, that you know, because you can really get paid to get educated, right? Like, I got paid for 7 years to get educated in the car business, you know? So, and then I took everything that I learned and made my own business out of it, right? Yeah. So the flipping car side hustle was just to gain some capital, you know what I mean? Yeah. Again, which you don't need to start a business. You do not need money to start a business. I promise you that you don't. You can do it on the side until you gain the business, and then it's there. And then that's always, if you're side hustling, you own a business, right? It's just not, it's in its birth stage, right? And because when in 10 years you can look back and say, oh, cool, that was just the beginning of my business. Yeah. You know, so yeah, you have to look at it like that. So always look at that big picture and the growth or whatever, you know. So, all right. So we understand now that we have to produce more clients to transition. Okay. The next thing that has to happen is
execute, maybe. No.
We gotta close them.
Oh well, yeah.
We gotta close.
I figured. I mean,
get the lead, learn how to close. Right. If you're gonna own a business, you have to know how to sell. Right. You have to know how to sell, even if it's just selling yourself on your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever, and saying, this is how good of the work I do. Here's who I took pictures of last week. Right. You know what I mean? Here's this dog that I took. Whatever it is. Right. Yeah. So you have to. You have to close your client.
I see, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So further on down in your business journey, which is not right now, that's where other people come in. And that's how you scale, right? We're going to call this mini scale from, you know, because scaling means, you know, I've got this business with 5 people. How do I go to 50 people? Right. Well, I got to scale, right? And every aspect has to scale. Trust me, I've done scale so wrong before that it cost me a ton of money, so I know about it. But this is mini scale. This is going from you to a bigger you. Right. Right? So we have to learn how to sell, and we have to learn how to close our clients, and we have to know how to do that efficiently, because if you're not careful, when you own a small business, you will be doing all of the work and you won't be able to obtain new clients. And that's where a lot of people, that's the first plateau that you're going to hit, is you're not efficient at gaining new clients, because say you're the best floor guy in the world, right? You do the best flooring, you do the best work, and you can do all the designs in there. I love that stuff. The guy downstairs is getting ready to do some dope stuff for me. But if you're the best at that and you're doing that, no one's acquiring new customers for you, right? So we have to use technology to do that. We have to do, you know, I mean, and when it's time to start a business, it may even be time to hire someone, right? If you can't get AI or ads to do this for you, it might be time to hire someone to help you gain new business, right? And even if it's someone who's just posting for you or just doing some kind of background stuff and you're still the salesperson, you can navigate this a lot of different ways. But the point is you have to understand that it's going to take a lot more action to get all these customers in to book your 7 days, right?
Right.
And you can't just, because you have You used to have 5 days to book 2 days.
Right.
Now you got no days to book 7 days, right?
Yeah.
For real.
I mean,
because
yeah.
tonight we got a gig, right? We're going to go shoot the Thompson family for their wedding or something, right? Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're setting up for that all day. You have no time to get business tomorrow, right? So you have to be thinking. And what I did incorrectly as a business owner in the very beginning, I did it all. I did it all. I had one person that worked for me, that was my brother, man. We were selling, buying, cleaning, doing all this or whatever, and we were trying to, do this with 20, 25 cars.
Yeah.
And it was like, dang, man, at the end of the day, you're just like, whoo,
Exhausted, yeah.
like I'm smoked. There's got to be an easier way. I did that for 2 years. Oh, it sucked. But, and I was barely making money. I'm like, man, car dealership owners are supposed to be making more money than this. Like,
Right.
what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? I had no idea what I was doing. That's why I do these videos, man. I swear. I had zero help in the beginning, man. No one would tell me you're doing this wrong or you're doing good in this area. You need to improve here. I would ask people for help, right?
Right.
People in my industry, I always say a little bit shady. The car business is wild, but they give me 2 answers, right? I'll be like, hey man, how much money are you making? They give me 2 answers. Oh, I make $1 million a day, or I don't make anything. And both of them were lies.
They're all lies.
Both of them were lies.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's tough. And so when you start to make some gains and you're asking people, you're like, man, am I doing well? Should I be making more than this? Is this good or whatever? And you're getting this bullshit response. There's no way for you
Yeah.
to track yourself and how you're doing there. So
Right.
we've ironed down 2 things, right? We know we're going to have to acquire more customers and how we're going to have to do it. And that looks different for every person in every industry,
Right.
but it's on you, man. Now you're the business owner, woman, whatever. Now you're the business owner. It's on you to figure it out. There's no plan, right?
No.
Once you get this playbook, run the play.
Yeah, that's it.
Once you see, boom, I can advertise in these groups, I can make this kind of post, I can spend this much money, it's going to generate 15 leads, run the play.
Yep.
And keep running the play,
Yes, keep
right? If it works, keep running the play. I see people often, they'll do things like a side hustle, right? And it works. Ah, cool, I'm going to quit my job because I'm making $3,000 a month here, that'll pay my bills, and then now I'm going to do this and I'll make way more money because I got more time. And they flop
Yeah.
because they don't run the play.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're a small business owner, so you're scared to spend money
Yeah.
because we don't know when the next check's coming, right? You can't do that.
Right.
You can't
Right.
do that. You have to spend the money. I promise you all, if I would have known this early on in my career, I'll be so rich right now, I'd be stupid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I went from, and all the advice that I would get when I was young from my family and people that cared about me, I mean, really,
Right.
is, oh man, don't spend money on that. You don't need this yet. Save your money. Yeah, you're making a little money. Put it up, do whatever. Fuck. I should have spent every dime advertising my business and growing my business.
But that's an old, like, they're just trained for the matrix, the 9 to 5 matrix. That they are, I mean, I think for like our parents definitely are like that. Like,
Totally.
I mean, dude, if I told my mom and dad that I'm about to start a business right now, they would, their head would explode.
Right.
Like, what? How? They wouldn't fathom it.
Yeah,
So
and it's
weird.
because they care about you. But
Yeah.
but it is, man. You got to link up. I said something on Instagram yesterday, right? I want to make $1 million in a month.
Yeah.
I've never done anything close to that, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm not at 800,000 a month, and I'm trying to get to $1 million. But like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I have to get access to people who've done that, right?
Yeah.
You cannot get advice from someone who hasn't fucking done this.
Yeah, no.
Right? Like,
No.
and I love your daddy, and you love your daddy, but if he ain't never owned a business, don't even talk to him about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He don't have a
True.
clue, right?
It's unfortunate. But
That's why I do these videos, because there's somebody out there who wants to start a business that can't get good information, and they want to do it, right? Like, I don't have all the answers, but I do know exactly what it looked like for me.
Right.
Yeah. I've made every mistake that a small business person could make. I've made every one of them, right? Yeah. To include not having enough capital, which I say you don't need to start. You don't need to start. You don't need money to start, right? but I've also once I learned like, bam, dude, like it's expansion time.
Right.
Oh, dude, I was just bang, bang, bang. If the bank would give me another $100,000, give it to me. You know what I mean? Bump you to 2 million, give it to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you got to look at, and there's different levels, right? So you got to say, well, here's what my operating cash needs to be if my loans are this big, right? And I got that out of whack one time, and that's very stressful, right? And so,
Scary.
but that's just part of growing and being a business owner, man.
Yeah.
And you'll learn that, right? So I can coach you up on how to do that as well. But the transition phase is so important that you understand exactly what's coming.
Yeah.
Exactly what's coming, right? So no longer do we have 5 days to book 2. We have no days to book 7. So you have to understand that. That is the transition. That is the transition from side hustle to small business.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do, man. You have to learn to sell your product, sell yourself, sell your company, tell the whole world. You have to get really good at telling the whole world what you do. I preach to our guys at the car dealerships, right? They're basically self-employed, our salespeople,
100%.
okay? They're basically self-employed. They generate their own. I mean, we spend, how much do we spend on advertising? 30,000.
Yeah.
We spend 30
But
grand
they
a month on
still
advertising. I mean,
grab their own leads.
yeah, and truly, Facebook, Instagram, their own pages, everything that they put forth is still a bigger profit number
God.
than the ROI that
Yeah.
we're getting, right?
Yeah.
So you have to get really, really good at telling the world what you do.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell them all the time. Man, go tell the world, everybody that you meet. Like people, nobody's going to root for a used car salesman, right?
No.
But everybody that I meet. By the way, I sell cars.
But I'll tell you, no one's not like me just because I'm a used car salesman.
Mm-mm.
Once they meet you,
Yeah.
they like you, and then they find out you sell, they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, you should never be ashamed of what you do.
never.
for a living.
No.
So,
No.
but man, guys, I hope that helps. But not to overthink it. Not to overthink it. If you've watched to the end of this video, we've learned 2 things, right? We have to understand that customer acquisition has to be ramped up, and we have to understand how to sell the leads that we're creating, okay? Create the leads, sell the leads that come in, and you're just not in that phase. So many people get wrapped up. What's my logo got to look like?
Yeah.
What's my website got to look like? It don't matter. Just get one.
Yeah.
Just get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I swear to God, my logo is still the same. I found it on Google Clip Art. Wait, but you remember that from back in the day? Clip Art? It's a 4-leaf clover. Yeah. Every brand I got is that thing now. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. It's like,
silly.
yeah.
I mean, it's true, but it's so
That's what
silly.
it is. That's where I got it at.
That's
Google
silly.
Clip Art. So whatever. But listen, man. DM us if you've got any questions. If you've got a side hustle, you got an idea. Somebody hit me up with an idea the other day. It was like, hey, how do I get this going? Just get it going. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just get started. Try it, right? The best insurance you can have for a small business and starting a small business, because it's risky, right?
Right.
What is it? 98% of them don't work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You got a 98% chance you're going to fail, right? The best insurance you can buy is do it as a side hustle.
Yeah.
Do it as a side hustle for a year or less, and 2
Yeah.
months, 10 months, whatever. So just
I
do
agree.
it, baby. Just do it. But if you got any questions, man, DM us. Subscribe to the page. Like I say, we're always putting out content just to help you out, man. Like I say, I've been exactly where you are. I've struggled in the exact places that you've struggled. And I still do, right? So I'm still looking at people, like I told you, my goal, I want to make $1 million in a month. I got to know what it feels like. I'm tracking people down that have done that and currently do that. I'm up their ass, man. I'm trying to learn from them.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet them, right? I want to get mentored by these people, right? And I know what they like. They like money. I'm going to pay for it. So,
Right.
cool. But listen, man, be great. I hope you learned something today.
Run the play.
Run the play.